Hello guys.
Hi.
Windy up here in the treehouse today.
It's getting more windy.
Today we're going to make meatloaf, but real meatloaf.
Not a meatless meatloaf, a meatloaf.
Meatloaf. So we have a mix of pork and beef, which we will mix with breadcrumbs and onions and garlic. Our herbs are going to be sweet paprika, black pepper and salt. We're going to top our meatloaf with fresh tomatoes and a little bit of sugar.
Why the sugar?
Just to make it a little bit sweet, so it's going to be a little bit sweet and sour on the top.
Okay.
And we're going to serve our meatloaf with mashed potatoes and green vegetables.
What's the butter for?
The butter is to mix together with the mashed potatoes to make a nice creamy mash.
Okay.
Yep. And then the sauce from the tomatoes and the meat. Delicious. Just watch.
And you need a 1 litre loaf tin.
Oh, is that 1 litre?
It's a 1 litre. It's a 1 litre loaf tin.
Today we're going to make, I'm not going to say it, I'm going to say meatloaf. Gehaktbrood. Similar. Anyway, JJ, leave it. So we have here 300 grams of minced beef and 300 grams of minced pork.
A mixture?
A mixture. This is a mixture of the two. And we're going to add some onions and some garlic, which we're going to lightly fry. Add to this our herbs, topped with tomato, and then put in the oven. And that's going to be accompanied by mashed potatoes and broccoli and cabbage. For 4 people, this is. So we shall start by a little drop of oil, just need a little bit, and some heat through that.
And I'm already peeling the potatoes and cutting them into small slices to put in the boiling water.
Yep. And I'm going to dice an onion and the garlic to give this meatloaf a really nice taste. And we're going to cut that really, really fine.
Should we be presetting the oven now?
So the oven should be on 180, 190, nice and hot. There we go, that's lovely. We're going to add our onions to the pan. Sizzle, sizzle. And our garlic as well. Again, you can use a press. I just do it with my knife in that rustic way that I like so much. And I also like garlic as well, so keeps away the vampires, they say. Just going to add these garlic to the onions. Yeah. There we go. Got the water for our mashed potatoes and the water for our vegetables. So we have our onions and garlic frying for our meatloaf. We have a pan of water to cook our vegetables in, and we have a bigger pan for our potatoes so we can make the mashed potatoes, which will accompany this. And this loaf will take probably about 25 minutes to 30 minutes in the oven.
Depending on your oven as well, dear.
Yeah, on a fan assisted oven, it should 30 minutes should be good. So now, while our onions are frying, we're going to add our salt, which is a tablespoon, white pepper, a tablespoon, and paprika, a tablespoon. I'm also going to put 30 grams of breadcrumbs. And so we have 1 medium egg. We're going to pop that straight inside. And we're going to mix this together.
Why don't you use your hands? I'd use my hands.
Yeah, I will use my hands as well. I just like to get it going first a little bit with the spoon so I don't end up with more breadcrumbs and eggs on my finger than in the meat. Like that.
Have you put some salt that pan for the potatoes.
No, would you like to put a pinch of salt in there?
Salt of my choice.
Salt of your choice. Is that just going to be like a thing now? That you're always going to ask for the salt of your choice?
This is my favourite choice.
I gave that Modern Family look.
Did you?
Okay, so our onions are now coloured. Them's black.
Then black.
And we're going to add that. It should be a little bit cooler, but because we're going to mix it and send it straight to the oven, it's not a problem. We're going to put those inside our meat, like that. Give that a mix. Oh, Judy, could you
Yeah.
oil? We're going to oil our little bread tin there.
It's a 1 litre. This one looks like it's been squashed
In the wars.
a bit in the wars. I don't really know why, but anyway, it's a 1 litre disposable bread tin. But if you've got a normal non-stick, that's okay as well.
Okay, so this is
We're
all.
going to use our 1 cal fry light. It's a oil spray. If you haven't got one of these, then you can just get some olive oil and rub it around with your hands. Just get a tablespoon or something and rub it around. And make sure it's really, as long as it's nice and greased like that.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to pack that inside of our bread tin, and we want it.
Very simple. Very simple.
Food
guys.
is simple. I think the problem is that when you watch it on television, people want to be fancy and do all sorts of things, and I'm not quite like that. I think all food is
He's not
fancy. I think all food is fancy. It just depends on how much effort you put into it. So we've got our meatloaf. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to take the tops off the tomatoes, because we don't want the stalk bit, and we're going to kind of chunky slice the tomato and put that on the top of our meatloaf. Take that one as well. And what this is going to do is it's going to make us a nice little kind of sauce on our...
Oh, it keeps it nice and
moist,
yeah.
on our meat. And all we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of pinches of our brown sugar and put that on top of our tomatoes. Yeah. And we're going to take a little bit of salt as well. And I choose this salt. This is rock salt. And we're going to crumble, and we're going to have something that looks a little bit like that when we're finished. And it feels very heavy too.
Let me feel it. Okay, shall I put this in the oven?
Yes, please. And that's going to go into the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. Of course, we're going to check it after 20 minutes and make sure that all is well. 180 degrees, fan oven. Lovely. So now we're just going to be waiting for our potatoes so we can mash, and our vegetables to accompany our plate.
25 minutes, yeah? We'll look at it after 25.
It's been about 20 minutes now. I'm just going to have a look at the meatloaf and see how it's doing.
Progressing.
Okay. So the tomatoes have all softened up. We have a little bit of juice from the tomatoes in there. That's going to make our sauce. And this just needs another 5 minutes and it's all good. It's cooked, but we're going to give it the full 25 minutes. I can see that the meatloaf underneath the tomatoes is firm, which is what we want because we want to slice it. But other than that...
Show that it's firm, but also you can see that you've got all the nice juices that are keeping the meatloaf really moist.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than having a really dry meatloaf. This one's, because you put the tomatoes on top, it keeps it really nice and moist.
Yep. So we'll let the time, put this in the oven, let the timer go down to 25, do our vegetables.
So I'll just drain off the potatoes in there.
And I've got a masher for you here.
Great.
And I am just going to prepare the vegetables.
So the potatoes are drained. And now I'm going to add a nice big portion of butter. Hot steamy potatoes.
Oh yes. No lumps, Judy, no lumps. A little bit of salt for our water here. My favourite salt, this one. And we're just going to pop in our cabbage and our broccoli. Okay. Everything is covered with water. Yeah, there's water covering all the vegetables.
And when it starts to boil, it'll boil up over the vegetables and cook it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, come take a look. This is my creamy mashed potatoes.
No lumps. Have you tasted it? Make sure it's got enough salt. Taste, taste, taste.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Put that over here to keep it nice and warm. How long have we got on this timer?
A couple of minutes.
A couple of minutes till countdown.
Okay.
Okay, I'll get out.
Alarm bells, alarm bells.
I'll
Okay.
get out the meatloaf. You drain the veg.
Yes, sir. Veg is not ready.
I'll get out the meatloaf anyway. Okay, so I've
Thank
just
you very
popped
much.
it in a...
On a plate, yeah, lovely. And that is our meatloaf. Ready, juicy, ready to rumble.
As you can see, it's starting to brown on the top.
Okay.
Lots of nice juice, and you can see it's browning around the edges. Perfectly done.
I'm going to drain my vegetables. Okay. So, we have our vegetables, our potatoes. Do you want to serve out the potatoes, a portion? We have our green veg, like so. And this is very classic cabbage, broccoli and mashed potatoes. And we're going to take a nice big slice of our meatloaf. Can you grab that?
Hot.
You alright with it?
Mm-hmm. Whoops.
There we go. And we're going to take a little bit of the sauce as well.
And put that over the top.
There we go. And here we have it. We have our meatloaf, broccoli and vegetables, and mashed potatoes. Done.
Try.
Delish.
Let me try.
Let's have a go in there. Oh, that does feel very nice in there. So easy, guys. Come on. You know what to do. Done.